Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Sever7 and today we are taking a look at the Kansept Link, and that's going to be with the ultimate goal of seeing if it's worth adding to your collection or your daily carry. Now this is just an overview with the more in-depth review coming a little bit further down the road. Now this knife does come from the Lefty pass-around group. So thank you very much to those guys. Without them, I would not be able to sustain daily reviews the way that I am because my collection is not big enough to support that. Now, this was made by Kansept in collaboration with Jonathan Shaw. Kansept, of course, they've been on a tear lately. I, for one, have been a big fan of all of their most recent releases. Jonathan Shaw is 18. Or at least was 18 whenever he designed this knife. He is officially the youngest designer at Kansept, and I gotta say, being 18, coming up with something like this, wild. Nothing but respect to that guy. Now, first impressions, you know, this thing's aggressive, right? This thing's very aggressive, which I like. The outside profile, we've got this very tall mohawk of a front flipper. We've got this poon, big old poon action. We have a very large opening hole, and it just looks menacing as far as the blade goes. Now the handle's a little more tame ergonomically, but we've got this really, really nice and smooth 80s fat carbon, you get it. Camo carbon, there we go. 80s camo carbon fiber, which looks really, really good, especially on this one because it's got a really nice mix of gray and blue and pink in the middle, and you've got these really, really nice little lines on the outside. I'm a big fan of this. We have a titanium on the back, blacked out hardware, T8 for the pivot, T6s for the body screws, more than one, milled titanium pocket clip, and then we do have a lanyard hole, and then we've got a backspacer that goes up, I would say 2/3 of the way to the top. Now, as far as ergonomics go, you ever flip the pillow and get that really nice, cool, refreshing? Yeah, that. You know what I'm talking about. I don't have to describe it, you know how it feels. That's what we're looking at right here. The ergonomics on this thing are fantastic. Nice rounded back here. Right, we just have this nice little arch. And then up here, we're not forced into any one spot. My 3 fingers can comfortably fit anywhere in here that I want them to. And then I've got this big, generous finger choil. So very comfortable. And I can even come back here and still have a full 4-finger grip. I can even creep up right here. And I would say what I think is the most functional is that you can pinch right under here, and then you can either steer from the poon or you can come all the way up here, right? It just depends on how much control you want to have. Most of the things I do, I can steer from the poon, right? I can take control right here at the poon and I can handle my business. Some people need this level of detail. They need to go well beyond the poon. Right? Me? All day. Right here. This is the sweet spot. The other thing too is that the way the belly on the blade is shaped, you don't just, like you can do it with the tip. Yeah, you can get down there with the tip. You can also maintain this level of control with this flat part of the blade because this touches the surface, but you're still propped up back here, so you can still pinch. And then if you need to get down here, Well, you don't really need a pinch for this, so you just hold it normal if you need to get in down here. So we can go tip, we can go first part of the belly, and then whichever one you need, you've got multiple options. That's why I say this knife is impressive, because while it looks like chaos, there was a tremendous amount of thought and detail put into this design. You could tell this was designed by somebody who uses and loves knives. Like, this was very intentionally designed, which is awesome, because I know we've all seen plenty of designs where it's like, yeah, it looks like they threw something at the wall just to see if it would stick, and I mean, it's a cool knife, but you know, not often can you say, wow, every detail of this knife was specifically decided, right? And with this knife, it was. You can go over the whole knife and it's like, okay, I can see why the ergos are that way. I can see why the blade's that way. I can see why. And, you know, this, even this, look at this. It's like you can just fall backwards, right? You can just put your finger here and just fall backwards. Like, even if you're not good at these, it's like jumping off of a diving board, right? Just do it. So comfortable. Now, as far as the blade goes, I'm going to call this a modified sheep's foot harpoon. So I'm sure people are going to disagree with that. Fight me in the comments. Actually, do fight me in the comments, though. I need an antagonist. I need that one person that says stuff I disagree with so I can complain about them in the next video, so that can fuel a bunch of my content. So don't get yourself in trouble, but, you know, be an antagonist, please. God, please. Sorry for the shake. As far as the blade finish and steel, Damascus for both, right? So sometimes companies, whenever they do Damascus for the blade, they don't tell you what they've mixed, right? We don't know if this is like a 9CR core. We don't know if it's like a VG10. We don't know. With Kansept, I'm assuming it's probably like a 9CR, right? But all it says for steel is Damascus. So what we know for sure is that there was at least 2 steels mixed together, and that the better of the 2 steels would form the jacket on the outside, and that the lesser of the 2 steels would form the core. That's what we can hope, and that's it. Now, as far as the detent goes, I would give this a medium. Some people might consider it slightly heavy. But for me, I find this detent to be satisfying, fidgetable, you know, clicky. And I'll tell you what I like about it, what something that makes it stand out. Click, and then listen to this disengagement. It's like you get a bonus click in the middle there. And then as far as the close, it's a shake shut, and then watch the detent. Watch it just slurp this blade right up. Oh, there it is, gone. It's like a cobra striking. I screwed that up. It's like a cobra striking, right? It's like, oh, it's there, and suddenly it's not. So really big fan of that. Lock bar access is super easy. Nothing complex going on here. It's scooped out, so you can just go in, disengage it, blade falls. I mean, just a good, I would say better than good, just a great overall experience getting to use and handle this. Now, I still have to do a long form review, which is where I, you know, really go through and test it, really put it through its paces and things like that. Even though I kind of frame this one like a long form review. I just got excited talking about it for just the hair amount of time that I've had it. We're looking at 4 ounces for its weight, which is a little heavy, because I'm not for sure, but I feel pretty confident we don't have a 4-inch blade. All right, let's take a look here. What do we got? So, yeah, it looks like we have a 3-inch blade, and overall we're sitting at about 7 1/3, roughly. Yeah, that looks about right. So not a big knife overall. You know, a little over 7 inches, less than 7.5 inches. Do a couple of quick size comparisons. We're going to use the Real Steel Sylph. So pretty close in size. I mean, certainly not a huge knife. We're going to do the Migaron Mini Acri. Kind of the same story. I'm doing that thing again where I just have a series of knives that are the exact same size. Let's pull this one out and let's do there we go. The Ferromonster Aurora Rays, right? Dwarfs it by a good margin. And we'll do the CJRB King. It's like, what's the point of bringing out a whole bunch of knives that are like right at 3 inches? I don't know, guys. I'll get some longer knives and some slightly more common ones. All right. Well, you know, that about covers it for this, you know, this kind of initial overview of the knife. You know, drop down in the comments and tell me, what do you think? What are your initial impressions? And based on what you know so far, is this something that you would consider for your collection or your everyday carry? And do me a favor, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want more content like this, then subscribe. And my Instagram is going to be linked down in the description. That's Sever, S-E-V-R, 7, S-E-V-N, at Instagram. Sever7. Is it at Instagram? No, it's on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Okay, I'm not editing this, so all the pieces are there. You know the drill. I appreciate you very much. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for watching. And until, damn shake. And until next time, stay sharp.